Hello, this is Victor. I'm here with a new Paint and Talk, and again I want to give response to the topic of the week started by Vince Venturella. And this time we are going to talk a little bit about Age of Sigmar, but I also want to go into adding complexity to the games because the topic of the week is about the Firestorm Allegiance Abilities. Okay, that they will add for Age of Sigmar, and yeah, they will add according to what we know up to now, and I will have more details once I have the expansion with me because I already ordered it. But they are adding a new layer of rules or a new layer of allegiance abilities that if you take a certain type of units or certain combinations, you will have more abilities. Okay, and then the question is what we feel about that, and what is going to be, what is our opinion to allow. And then they say that these rules are going to be for narrative and for match play. First of all, I think, this division, I think it's very artificial. This division we do between narrative, I know was started by Games Workshop, but it's rather artificial, this way of doing, because open play for me maybe it's the most interesting, but I have the feeling at the end I pick rules from different parts or different parts of the rules. Now I take, for example, in our campaign we were mixing match play with Path of Glory, and then we were creating scenarios to make some narrative. So it can be really, you arrive to a point. And then we say, okay, because to keep balance, we don't use at the beginning some of the legends abilities of the book, so we keep basic. So it was really in our gaming group or the people who were playing this type of campaign, we were really mixing everything up to make the game tailored to what we like to play or what we like it. So we just we say, okay, do we apply that? Yes, we applied, for example, because we want to make like a small campaign. We will apply in the Path of Glory experiences or abilities that you gain over time. So at the end, when you use that, I think for me match play is like pick up games at the store, and I think in that case you should allow what is in the rulebook and what is in the expansions. Okay, I think you should be open. You should not restrict the rules, because at the end the people you want people to collect their army, and I think the most possibilities to give more variety of armies we are going to see there. And at the end what we want to see is that everybody have an army reflecting or showing their own personality. No, well, the ideal for me on the wargame will be that every army is different and we don't have clones of the same army over there, but it's really a very wide vision, because of course there is a limited amount of rules and combinations that you can do. But this will be the great, so the more combinations you have, looks the better. Then what happens in the competitive tournament gaming? So in that case, what I see is making, it's more tricky, because when you have the more complexity and the more rules you have, the more options, there is more space for abuse of the rules. And here I will make a comparison to a 7th edition of Warhammer 40k. There was a moment that we had, because I have the feeling that Age of Sigmar is going a little bit in the same direction where we were on the 7th edition of 40k. The 7th edition of 40k was a lot of detachments, and then the detachment was having special rules. These special rules were giving some bonus, and then you were able to do different layers of special rules, and depending if it was a detachment or if it was a formation. So, and I think Age of Sigmar is taking part of these mechanics of, depending on the combinations that you can do your army more fluffy, but at the same time you get more special rules to compensate the, I would say, the fix or the limitations or losing the freedom on the army composition, right? And the problem there is that then it's easy that some of the rules are too powerful and then are abused. Okay, and I see this is a problem mainly competitive. And then there is another problem that is handle the complexity. And here is where I see the more difficult part. There is a moment in 40K that really each list, the good thing is there were a lot of ways to build up lists and to build up a Space Marine army. There were several ways to do it, but they were very complex. There were so many rules out there, so many special rules that you can accumulate, and then you had a regular Space Marine with a long list of special rules. And that was making the game at the moment very difficult to handle, no? Especially if you're in the competitive, and then you have so many special rules out there that you don't really know if this is legal, is not legal, and you as a player playing with a person that have one of these attachments with formations and so on, was difficult to understand. What are the rules and all the special rules, and then you get confused, and then there was a moment that was adding to complexity. So what I want to go here is, I like a lot the rules. I like a lot for match play. I think for tournaments we have to be a little bit more careful, because if the complexity keeps raising, and we see a lot of complexity and a lot of different options, it's going to be more and more difficult for the TOs to organize, to know if there is a fair game or not, and of course we are going to see formations and I would say battalions that are going to be too strong. Then you will combine the battalions with the Allegiance abilities, and then the second layer of Allegiance abilities. This can make the game really complex and difficult for the competitive gaming. But I will say, match play, I think all the rules have to be there, because at the end, maybe some people will collect one of these armies. Why, if I buy the box that they just released, with combination of Stormcast Eternals and 3 people, then why someone can tell me, no, you cannot play with this because I don't like these special rules that you have. Or if you play with that, you don't have access to your Allegiance abilities. So I think this is unfair, and I think on match play we should work with points. But I think all these rules that are like the Allegiance abilities and all these things, I don't find that it's wrong to have it there. On tournaments, all comes to the TO. I still think I like to play the rules as they come in the book, and I like that when the TOs modify very little the rules. I'm not fan of the big comms, because at the end what I'm realizing when I go to tournaments with big comms, and this happened in the past in fantasy and happened in 40K, and in some way it can happen in Age of Sigmar, is that the only thing that TOs manage to do is to move the balance from one side to the other, but still there are units and armies that are more powerful than others. I always see the same, so and I have more experience on 40K, but each time that you see a new comp system, new limitations, they're shifting the balance of the game from one side to another. Maybe this army that was super powerful is not powerful anymore, but then there is another army it's being, the comp is benefiting this army and becomes higher, stronger. So this is why I think comps are just moving the balance of the game from one side to another. So coming back to topic, because I rambled a little bit too much, what I think about the new Alliance abilities for this that are coming on the Firestorm campaign. I really like it. I think I think it's great they put this out there. I think they should be used in match play, and I think it should be used in tournaments. The only watch out is how much complex we can handle the tournaments, how much complex rules, because everybody says that Age of Sigmar have very easy rules, but once you have a character or a unit or army that have, let's put 4, 5, 6 special rules out there that can do different things, it start becoming complex, but difficult to follow up for everybody. So here also comes the fair play of the people. I think people have to spend some time in front of the game explaining the rules, especially if it's just a pick-up game. I think it's worth it for the fair play to explain what your army can do, what are the rules, and in that way both players can enjoy better the game. So that's all what I want to talk here. Little bit of maybe too much rambling, but yeah, I'm always in favor of adding options and giving giving the people options to make different type of armies, combine different type of armies. I think the Allies was good, and now we have this type of mix up Allegiance abilities for the cities. Looking forward to see what is the next abuse, and here I think the change that Games Workshop have bring versus 7 edition in 40k, where we had at the end too much complexity and too much broken rules. I think here what I see more is that Games Workshop is paying attention, more attention to look if any rule is decompensating, if it's too strong, and and making this rule less strong. Okay, debuffing the rules that maybe are too strong or they are too abused. And that's all for now. Please give in the comment below what do you think. I'm really interested in knowing your opinion. And as usual, for all these video responses, you will find the link to the Vince Venturella video in the description below, so you can go there and see the first video on this topic. So that's all for now. As usual, thanks a lot for watching, and see you again later. Bye.